One of the first things people researching moving to Nanaimo, BC or relocating to Vancouver Island want to understand is that the commute on a map, it doesn't look that far, but once you start looking at ferry schedules and timing, that's where the real questions start. We've seen this work really well for people with flexible work structure and people who only need to be in Vancouver 1 or 2 days a week. We are Travis and Kyle. We live and work here in Nanaimo, and we've helped quite a few people think through this exact move. The most common situations we see are people coming from tech roles, sales roles, or even project-based work, especially since COVID. Quite a few people have shifted their home base to Nanaimo while keeping their job in Vancouver. For those people, the ferry becomes part of the routine. It's not a daily grind. It's something that they plan around maybe once or twice a week. And for those people, it works amazing. Nanaimo Airport also has direct flights into hubs like Vancouver and Calgary, which can make rotational work surprisingly convenient. So in the right situations, Nanaimo can actually become a very practical home base. But the common thread is flexibility. Where this becomes more difficult is when the schedule is rigid, like 5 days a week downtown, early starts, late finishes, parents with tight school schedules. There are 3 main ways people usually make this commute: the Hullo ferry, BC Ferries, or one of the seaplanes. The Hullo ferry runs terminal to terminal from downtown Nanaimo to downtown Vancouver in about 70 minutes. For most of Nanaimo homes, you can reach the terminals in about 10 to 15 minutes. Pricing between $40 and $60 one way. BC Ferries is a little longer at about 1 hour and 40 minutes, plus the drive from North Vancouver, which can add 30 to 50 minutes. Seaplanes are the fastest option at roughly 20 minutes harbor to harbor, but it's also the most expensive. The ferry ride itself isn't usually what surprises people, as I see people working on the laptops, having coffee, or standing outside on the deck watching the island slide past. It's a very different feeling than sitting in traffic for an hour. The ferry isn't usually the part that people struggle with. It's everything around it, like reservations, weather, managing the rhythm of 2 different cities. Ferry reservations become very important in the summer, and winter brings the challenges of storm cancellations, which is simply a part of island life. 2 days a week is very manageable, especially when there's flexibility in your schedule, while 3 days you start to feel it and 5 days starts to become a grind. But driving daily into downtown Vancouver from the Fraser Valley is also exhausting in its own ways. Whereas on the ferry, you can sit down, open your laptop, and make it structured time. You're commuting because you're trying to upgrade your life, and that's where the conversation shifts to housing. You can trade a $600,000 to $700,000 condo in Vancouver for a detached home here in Nanaimo, around 1,600 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and built within the last 10 years. There's the lifestyle side with the ocean access and trails within minutes for families. Kids tend to have a lot more freedom here with a smaller city rhythm that is a little slower and a little less compressed. At the end of the day, the decision comes down to one simple question: does the lifestyle you gain outweigh the travel it takes to get there? If you're researching relocating to Vancouver Island and trying to figure out whether this move makes sense for you, feel free to reach out. Our contact information is below, and you can grab one of our Nanaimo relocation guides in the description below as well. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.